It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And we are live at Circa Las Vegas, the ultimate contest weekend. I'm Joe Reinigle. He's Jason Minix. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And while we are in at Las Vegas, we certainly have an ear and eye on everything that's gone on today at San Antonio City Council. And let's talk about it. Our morning host, Rob Thompson, posted the Magnificent Seven. Remember how they voted. And one of the, let's call them that, Magnificent Seven is out of District 10. Councilman Marc Whyte joining us here on the Buyers Barricades guest line. It wasn't quite 9 hours like a couple of weeks ago, Mark, but today was a long day. I know you're just wrapping up. Appreciate you jumping on with us this afternoon.
Yeah, long day, but I'm happy to be on with you guys.
Well, Mark, I tell you what, kind of take us through, because I watched a lot of that. I know Jason watched a lot of the city council meeting this morning. And I guess what I found fascinating about the whole thing is the people that were pushing for this pause at the same time had signs that said, "No Project Marvel." I wish they'd just come out and say they're against it.
Yeah, and that's another symptom of the confusion that's out there in the public, unfortunately, because today we were only dealing with the Spurs arena, not all the rest of it that goes along with this potential Project Marvel, which is going to take many, many votes and years to look at. Today was simply about the arena. It was about transparency and making sure that the citizens of San Antonio know all the terms of the deal and can review the deal prior to voting in November, because like you always hear me say, this is going to be up to the citizens. Their vote is what matters in November. And all we did today was finalize the term sheet so that they can review it and make an informed decision.
Marc Whyte out of District 10 joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Heard a lot of great speakers today from various community leaders, different events, organizations. Did you hear anything today that surprised you from speakers either on either side of the issue?
No, I didn't. I don't think anything was surprising today. What I did love about today was that you saw people from all walks of life out in support of this term sheet, right? You had people from the neighborhoods, you had people from the service industry, you had people from the business community. San Antonio was represented across the board today. And everyone said, hey, we need to know the terms of the deal before this vote. So I don't think anything today surprised me. San Antonio, we're a prideful community. We have such a great culture here. And the people came out today and said, listen, we love our Spurs. They've acted as a good partner in this process. And we need to know the terms of the deal before November.
Mark, I love the fact, though, that you guys allow that at City Council, whether you were for this term sheet approval or not. Just the fact that this has stirred up a lot of interest in what's going on here. And I love the fact that this city is coming out and making their opinion known, regardless of what side of the fence they sit on.
That's absolutely sorry, it's a little bit loud over here. That's absolutely That's absolutely correct, because, the Spurs are here for the citizens. The Spurs are a part of San Antonio, and we at City Hall, we represent the people of this city. We are there to listen to them and put into motion their agenda, right? This is the people's agenda, and the folks, want the Spurs, and they should come, and they should make their voices known. And this shouldn't be up to 11 people sitting up on the dais. And, I try to, when I come to work every day, I tell my team, hey, the first thing we talk about every morning is what are our residents saying? What are the people of District 10 saying? What are San Antonians talking about? What do they feel? What do they need? And that's how we try to base our actions, is just doing what the people want us to do.
Marc Whyte from District 10 here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. You've been, as you know, we try to stay out of politics. You're in it. I believe it was Derek Fox from the Alamo Bowl, the Valero Alamo Bowl, said it's rare that you have the county, the city, and the Spurs, in this case, the Spurs, aligned on a project. How unusual is it for the city and the county to be on the same page for a massive project like this?
Well, I'll tell you, one of my frustrations in my first 2 years is that the city and the county haven't gotten along on much. There needs to be more coordination and working together on issues. So this was really nice to see that this happened today. And I want to make another point. Again, you're right. City, Spurs, county, all working together. And the reason for that, I think, is because this is, at the end of the day, the structure of this deal, I think, really works for this city. There are no local tax dollars that are going to be used on this. This arena is going to be owned by the city, and it's going to be paid for by visitors, by the Spurs, and with that state sales tax money. So, it's something where I think it should have been easier for the city, county, and Spurs to come together. But at the end of the day, we were able to, again, because of the financial structure of the deal, because the Spurs are putting so much into the community benefits agreement. It's just something where, we were all pretty easily, at the end of the day, able to make this work.
Mark, let me ask you this. Obviously, today was a step forward in this, but there is still a long way to go, as you have pointed out. And the first step is the election in November. Do you anticipate the people that voted against this today to try to put up more roadblocks in between now and then?
Well, that is a really good question. I'm not sure I know the answer to that. You saw today it was a 7-4 vote. So will those 4 folks actively campaign against the county initiative in November? It's going to be interesting to watch. I certainly hope that that's not the case. I think our job now as government officials is simply to take the information to the people, right? We all need to get in our districts. And you heard today, the Spurs made a commitment to do multiple community meetings in all of our districts and just show the folks the deal, right? Explain to them the terms of the deal, let them look at it, answer the questions, and then, hey, I can live with whatever the public decides in November. So I really hope there won't be a lot of negative campaigning going on here. It should be more informational and let the people have their say.
I'd be, not shocked isn't the right word, but I can't imagine the current mayor actively campaigning for a no vote. But I am curious as a long-term city council member, when you're on the losing side of a vote, like 4 were today, but the majority of the council wants to move forward, do you jump on board typically, or does council typically jump on board and then support a project even though they voted against it when they lose a vote, or do they always have their heels dug in on their stance even though they were outvoted?
Well, today's a really interesting test case because usually mayors are not on the losing side of big votes like this. So it will be interesting to see how she reacts. This was sort of a unique situation today. It's not often that you have a vote that's really about information and setting up a city or a county-wide vote a couple months down the line. So again, I'm not sure exactly what you're going to see out of this mayor, but I'll tell you this, I know my council colleagues love this city. I know my council colleagues love the Spurs. I don't think anybody should want to risk the Spurs leaving San Antonio. And so again, I hope that after today, tensions can simmer down. We can all come together. Again, just get the accurate information to the citizens, right? That's been my frustration over the last 2 weeks. You've had some things, quite frankly, coming out of the mayor's office, to be honest with you, that just have not been true. Now that the deal is on paper, we can get the citizens the accurate information, let them digest it and understand it, and then let them make the decision.
Mark, I've got to ask you, but a lot in politics doesn't surprise anybody, I think. I mean, anything goes. But were you surprised with the actions of the mayor? coming to your budget meeting, one, and then the rally that was held on the downtown, I think yesterday, for this by business leaders coming and wanting to talk. Did any of that surprise you?
Yeah, let me say this about that. I had a budget town hall, as you know. We were there to talk about the budget, okay? The general fund, streets, sidewalks, public safety. What I was surprised about, and not that she came because, the mayor told me she would come, but she was not on the agenda to speak. And I was asked by her chief of staff, could she speak at the town hall? And we made an agreement that she could speak so long as she kept it to the budget and that we were not going to talk about the arena. So was I surprised when we made that deal and then she got up and talked about the arena? Yes, I most definitely was, and everything that ensued after that I thought was very unfortunate. As for yesterday, were we surprised to see her sort of crash that Spurs rally on the steps? I mean, I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't surprised to see that. But listen, the mayor is entitled to have her position on these things, absolutely. But if your viewers or if your listeners, I should say, are wondering if I would hope for a little better decorum out of our mayor, again, I wouldn't be telling you the truth if I didn't say, yeah, I think that it would be nice if we all conducted ourselves, with a level of professionalism that I think our city government deserves.
And Mark, you used the term unfortunate. I used the term embarrassing. Kind of the same. Marc Whyte from District 10 here on the Blitz. Mark, want to ask you, and again, we're in Las Vegas in the middle of the show, so a lot of stuff we were seeing after our show started after 2 o'clock was little bits and pieces on Twitter and different things that we were able to pick up. I believe I saw something about her trying to now call for the citizens to vote on the city portion. I don't know if I've got that accurate, if you could clear that up, and what kind of, for a lack of better words, monkey wrench would that throw into it? Is trying to get a citizen vote here, would that just be another obstacle roadblock that she is going to try to put up?
You're right. Yeah, you're right. It does look like that she now wants to do something like that. Honestly, we're going to have to flesh out the details of what it is that she's talking about there. I'm not sure about the legality of being able to hold a vote on that. Obviously, the vote cannot be held this November. It's not soon. It's not early enough to get, or it's too late, I should say, to get it on this November's ballot. But whether she can do something like that, I'm not sure. We're going to have to talk with our city attorney's office and see.
Mark, let me ask you this. Obviously, you guys today had the vote. It was approved. The negotiations with the term sheet will continue on. As far as the city council now, and I know you guys have a lot of other city business to deal with and take care of, what is your role now as we head towards this November vote?
Yeah, as I mentioned a minute ago, our role now is to get all of the information to the citizens, right? That is it. We have 75 days. I'm going to let this, sorry, I'm on the side of the road by City Hall right now.
Okay.
We're going to let, there's 75 days now between now and the vote on November 4th. And so what we're going to do is we're setting multiple community meetings. We're getting multiple community meetings set up in District 10. We are going to get the term sheet out to the citizens of our district. We're going to bring the Spurs personnel and city personnel to District 10 and have as many meetings as we need to have so that our residents understand the deal and then can go make an informed vote. And I know that the rest of my colleagues are going to do the same.
Marc Whyte from District 10. I know it's been an extremely long and busy day. Appreciate you prioritizing jumping on with the Blitz before you get on with everything else that you have to do after that marathon meeting. Appreciate the time, sir.
Yeah, thank you all very much. Thank you for getting the information out to your listeners and look forward to being back.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Marc Whyte from District 10 on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.